Hey, welcome everyone to High Levels podcast. Today I have Brady Sticker, and Brady is based out of Houston. He built a company called ChurchCandy, and I'm excited to do a case study podcast with him. Brady, thanks for saying yes.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming all the way up to my house in my studio here at my crib, man.
I love it. Those of you that might be wondering, this whole setup we have, Brady and I are local to each other here in Houston. So as we launch this case study, initiative, we thought we'll just go with the major league hitters and do the podcast the right way. So Brady, help me understand your story and speak to those that are just starting out, and the world of marketing has changed. ChurchCandy is now one of the top leaders in the community of High Level. But before we go into everything we have planned in this conversation, Brady, help me understand, who is Brady Sticker?
Yeah, man. So I just wanted to be like a youth pastor or like a pastor. Like I felt called to ministry, and I was going to Bible college. And at the time, I was working for my dad's agency, ChurchCandy. So Billy Sticker is my dad. And he started the agency back in 2015, before High Level, before like agency life was as popular as it is now. And I was hired number one. Like I was his very first hire. I helped him scale the business. And while I was in Bible college pursuing this like goal to be a pastor, I just felt the Lord put in my heart, like everything that I'm doing for these chiropractors, the local church needs that. And so eventually I get a job at a church here in Houston. I'm a youth pastor, and I start helping them with their Facebook ads and Instagram ads. We start getting a ton of new guests, and that basically became ChurchCandy client number one.
I love it. So Brady, when did this become a full-on business from transitioning from your dad's business? Like first were you buying ads in your dad's business? Were you the graphic designer? Like help us understand what you did in your dad's business, and when did you transition into starting your own business?
Yeah, man. So we basically, like, my dad and I started the agency, or dad started the agency whenever he had like somewhere between 20 and 50 clients. He brought me on. So it went from just him to then me helping him. And what it was is it started as I didn't even want to work with my dad. In fact, one day he said, "Brady, I will pay you $50 to build out this ClickFunnels landing page." And I said, "Dad, I don't know what a ClickFunnel is, but I will take the $50. Let's do it." And so yeah, it started as like he would pay me to build out landing pages for the chiropractors. This was before High Level, like I said. So we were building landing pages and ClickFunnels, had active campaign for like the email marketing, and then everything was duct taped together with Zapier, and then also sending it over into a Google spreadsheet. And so that was basically what I was doing, is I was handling the fulfillment side of buying ads for chiropractors. And so I would set up the ads, all the back end ClickFunnels landing pages. And so that's what I did. And then we brought on another person to start helping us. And so I trained them how to build ads and do that. And then at 19 years old, I basically became we didn't have a title for it, but I was my dad's number two in the agency. So I was in charge of training and managing the team of the team at ChurchCandy.
Yeah.
We ran a really interesting model, Paulson, to where we basically had micro agency owners working for us. So we would hire someone that didn't know anything about Facebook ads or digital marketing. We just looked for people with good character. And we would teach them, here's how you build ads. Here's how you talk to clients. And we would give them, 20 to 40 clients and be like, all right, here's your clients to manage. Make sure you're the account manager and you're the media buyer. And that model isn't great. I don't recommend it. It's not good long term. And so, yeah, that's what I was doing with my dad's agency. And as far as the transition goes, it was really when I was a youth pastor, I just wanted to help my church reach some new people. I wanted to get some new people in the door. And finally, we got things dialed in to where, okay, sweet, we started having new guests come in. And I would get put in these Facebook group messages that my pastor put me in. And it would be like another pastor in another city. And he would be like, hey, Pastor John, I want to connect you with Brady. He's our youth pastor. He did our Facebook ads. I think he would like really be able to help you guys too. because this was right after COVID. So a lot of churches like just really struggled getting people into their doors. And I thought, okay, this would be great to just put a course together that I could just sell to these people that my pastor connects me to, because I don't have time to run an agency. My new wife and I were just getting settled here in Houston. I was a youth pastor. I was helping my dad's company, and I didn't have time to take on my own agency clients. So I tried to basically make a course on how to run ads for churches, and I would sell it to the pastors. And part of the course was, okay, here's how you run the ads. Well, on the back end, once you get people connected to your church, you need to follow up with them with texts and emails. And that's where our white labeled Go HighLevel comes into play. And so we call it church funnels. And we have a really unique setup to where it's like it's separate from the agency. And so church funnels and ChurchCandy, they're their own separate LLCs and all of that. But my mindset was, I'm going to have this course. It's going to teach people how to run Facebook ads. But long term, I'll get recurring revenue from the SaaS play. The problem is, none of these pastors wanted to go through the program. They said yes to buying it because they wanted to solve the problem of, we want new people into our church. But none of them had time to actually go through the course. And so that was back in 2021. And by the end of 2021, I ended up converting some of my course students into agency clients because they were just like, can I just pay you to do it for me? And so once we got into January 2022, I had about 8 clients, and I said, all right, I'm going to take this seriously. Without asking my dad's permission, I bought ChurchCandy.com and registered ChurchCandy Marketing LLC, even though my dad had Cairo Candy. Luckily, he was cool with it, and he was excited for me. Dad, I learned so much from him, and he's very supportive. But I probably should have double checked with him to make sure, like, hey, you're cool with me kind of taking this brand and spinning off this. But he was super cool, super supportive. I
love it.
And I stayed with my dad's agency, helped him, and basically raised up my replacement all the way until I think about January of 2024.
Wow.
And so throughout that time, I'm scaling my own agency, helping my dad in the business. So basically running 2 agencies
at the same time.
Yeah, it was a wild ride for sure.
Yeah. So with the context of this case study, sort of a podcast that we're trying to do, our goal for the listeners, kind of leaning in and just learning from this is to help them understand what worked and what also didn't work.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not just about the numbers. Maybe you downloaded, if you're watching this, maybe you downloaded some of the resources from this case study podcast. But what I want you to do is really lean in and understand the different strategies that Brady and his team went through, implemented, and didn't work. So we talked about the company story, the genesis of how you and your dad kind of split off and kind of did your own thing now. Early breakthrough. What opened your mind about the offers? Like what exactly worked for you? Like, I know you guys ran a kind of a DBR campaign. You guys, did a competition among the pastors or whatnot, if I'm not mistaken. Like, help me understand what worked early as a breakthrough for you guys.
Yeah, man. There were so many little things when we were first getting started. Number one is we focused heavily on, like, okay, let's get our clients the best results possible, right? And this is kind of like my whole motto and like mindset is, let's just get clients the best results possible. Then from there, we want to document the client's results. Like, that's what built this podcast studio we're sitting in now.
Right.
Because I will fly clients here to Houston. I'll pay for their flights, hotels, take them out to a nice dinner or lunch, and sit down with them and in a similar case study style podcast interview and ask, like, hey, what has your experience been like with ChurchCandy? So basically a really expensive testimonial video we could do on Zoom, right? But it's just having it in person is just so powerful, because then I could cut that clip into ads, and that works really well. Well, then we leverage the results, the testimonial, to get a new client.
So did you always work with churches, or did you like dabble into like 5 different things? And then you were like, you know what, I've got this group of people that I just enjoy. Like for the folks that are watching and they're like, do I need to niche down like Brady did? Or like, what's your overall thought on that?
Yeah. So there would be times when people would come to ChurchCandy and want help with their business. And we would be like, hey, we're not a good fit. And my dad's like, one time my dad was like, hey, we're not a good fit for you. But if you want, you can talk to my son, Brady. He might be able to just take you on as a freelance project. So I would get a couple of clients just from my dad referring them to me, which is crazy to think about. Why wouldn't he just be like, yeah, we'll take you on and just have me do the work in hindsight? But so I had a couple of clients like that weren't quite chiropractors or fit that niche. But for the most part, man, like I just stuck to my niche. Like it just stuck to churches.
Well, you were a youth pastor.
Yeah, I was a youth pastor. Like I'm just very passionate about it. And so that's one of the things about niching down is you become like the expert in your field to where like now I'm not famous. Like I'm not a celebrity or whatever, but I have gotten stopped in the airport by pastors. And when I go to these pastors conference, I have people, Paulson, I had pastors ask for pictures with me. And it's like, dude, I'm just a guy. And all of that is possible because I niche down. And when you niche down, like you just become the expert in that one industry. And that is one thing that worked really well for us. And so in that whole framework of getting clients, get them results, document the results in like a case study, and then leverage that to now get a new client, that's just a cycle that we've repeated. And we kind of discovered that early on. And so now I feel like, I think it's safe to say we have more case studies and testimonials than any other church marketing company out there. Like just because we've been so intentional about getting that social proof and intentional about getting those testimonial videos. Because I can talk all day long about how great my agency is, but it's way more valuable coming from the clients that we've served.
Yeah. I've always learned from my dad as well that it's better to be a big fish in a little pond versus just simply just being in a vast ocean and you're just another fish. So it's cool to see like a living proof of that in some sense. So Brady, question for you. For those high levelers that are watching, agency versus SaaS, or is it SWAS, or is it a hybrid? Like, how did you, in your early stages, like, what was the breakthrough? What was the structure of the offers? Like, what was the offers?
Yeah, man. So we've always been very low ticket, sometimes to a fault. Actually, a lot of times to a fault. I'm so passionate about my niche. I would rather work with more clients and make less money than what all my coaches, the Josh Nelsons of the world, those guys are like, dude, you need to raise your prices. Like you need to be charging more. It's like, look, if I can be profitable and if I can make a bigger impact, I'm going to do it. So the offer in the early days, it was $500 for the Facebook ad services to where we would run ads for your church.
Per month. Yeah. And what came with it?
Doesn't include ad spend. That's just our services. It was an additional $100 for the software. And so the angle we would use and that we use is, hey, we'd love to help your church. This is the price. Included is you get access to the software. So you'll see on your, I think the service agreement is what we call it. It's like 2 separate prices and they go and sign up for it separately. And so what that looks like is there's 2 separate transactions on the client's credit card.
Yeah.
One for ChurchCandy and the other for Church Funnels, the software, because they're 2 completely separate LLCs. So I guess that would be more of a, you tell me, I don't know what model it is.
That's what I would call like a SWAS model or a SWAS model, which is software with a service or service with the software. Like it's like together, right? Question for you before we go any further. You were functioning as a regular agency before this whole SaaS thing got introduced. Help us understand your like decision on, okay, it's time that we roll in the software. Like, what did that look like? Because I assume you already had, a couple of hundred clients, or you're already rolling with your agency services. What made you say yes to the software? What made you say, yes to that business model ultimately?
Yeah. So whenever we started ChirchCandy and the Chiro agency, that is when we transitioned to go HighLevel. I would be curious. Maybe you can look. I wonder what number agency ChirchCandy was.
Yeah, you guys were early.
This was like 2018, 2019.
Yeah, 2019 is when we started.
So then, and then it would have been 2019. And I have given Rob Bailey so much affiliate income from that. And then he got the secondary from me signing up with ChurchCandy too. So ChirchCandy is when we transitioned from ClickFunnels, ActiveCampaign, Zapier, and Google Spreadsheets to.
So you're using HighLevel at that point.
Yeah. So we're using for ChirchCandy. So when I switched over and started doing my own thing, I started with HighLevel on day one. So I knew that we were going to use that in some way. And it wasn't because I can make extra money from selling the software. It's no, this is going to be a better end product for our clients, because our model, the way we run it, is churches will hire us to run ads for them. And it's not just hey, come to our church. No, the ads have a call to action. They say, hey, plan a visit to our church. We know it can be intimidating visiting a church for the first time. So click below to plan your visit. We'll connect with you before Sunday, and then we'll see you there. So that's basically the offer that we'll run for churches on their ads. And so
it's plan a visit offer.
Yeah, so it's a plan a visit offer. So it's free, doesn't cost anything to someone that sees this ad for a church. They click the ad, takes them just to Facebook instant form, name, email, phone number. That is then automatically ported into HighLevel with the Facebook Meta integration. And then they get a text that says, hey, Paulson, this is Pastor Brady. I saw saw your family planning to visit. Can't wait to meet. And then from there, you'd respond, awesome, can't wait to meet too. From then, the pastor or their team would take over manually texting them back and forth. So that's the model that we ran for my church. And I just gave them a free sub account from ChirchCandy. It didn't cost us anything to have an extra sub account. This was before the rebilling for the phone
this
services.
This is back when we had 5 features.
Yes. It was not that it was easier to use, but it was simpler, and I think it was easier to use. Now you guys just offer so much, and it's awesome.
Let's go back to offers that work. So you had the SaaS model. Essentially, you had the service as an agency, ad service, lead generation. Automation came with it. When did you say, okay, let me layer on this $100 product or $200 product as a separate thing? What made you feel okay, it's time? Is it because you felt like that stabilizes your book of business, or do you feel like some customers want just the software piece? What made you say yes to the software?
So we started from the very beginning, them being two completely separate things. My mindset was, hopefully this will increase stickiness to where maybe they only need Facebook ads for 18 months, but they would need back-end marketing software for life. So we started from day one, them being separate and with the church agency. They had always been, that we just always ran that model from the very beginning back in 2021, 2022, when we started. And with that, I've learned most people, unless you can just really get them fully bought in and using the software outside of what your agency does, then they'll keep it. But if they're only using the software to supplement what your agency is doing for them, once they cancel your agency, they're going to cancel the software. What I mean by that is, we are generating leads for churches. If all the clients are using HighLevel for, or ChurchFunnels for, if all they're using it for is following up with those leads, once they stop getting leads, why are they paying for the software? Right? And so that's when we learned, okay, we need to be intentional about getting them to use this outside of just following up with the leads we're generating for them. So whether that's them doing like database reactivation campaigns, or as they have different events, sending out mass text messages to their lists and emails and the social planner and all these different things. Like one of the ones, which if I could add to the idea board, my team actually made a note to bring this up to you to get it upvoted or see if we can spam the upvotes on this idea is chat widgets. So like we use the chat widget super uniquely for churches. So what we'll do is we will make it say, hey, we would love for you to visit, click here to plan a visit. And so we will take away the box that says message, like where you send in a message, into where all you're entering is name, email, and phone number. And it just says like, once you click the little chat widget, it says, we can't wait to meet you. We'd love to see you Sunday at 10 a.m. Enter your info below to plan a visit. And so it's basically just like a pop-up lead form. And so they enter the info in, press submit, and then they get a text on their phone. So that's how we're using the chat widget. So one of the features that isn't there is being able to have like a chat widget template, or like being able to duplicate chat widgets into other sub accounts. So if that's not on the idea board, I'll have my team at it. And if we could spam that with upvotes, it would make my team very excited. Because right now we're having to manually build out this custom chat widget. So that's one of the things that we're having to do for clients, because that gives value outside of us just sending leads. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because if we get that on their website and they're getting value from it every week from just organic traffic, then when they cancel services with our agency, well, the software is a different thing. ChurchFunnels is different, and we're getting value from that outside of just the agency. So that's our mindset with that.
I love that, because it reminds me of early days of when we launched SaaS in general. We used to go into like a coaching mode, and we do webinars and 5-day challenges and all kinds of stuff within the community. And one of the biggest points that we always taught was start thinking like a software company and not an agency, right? And do that as an agency, right? What the ultimate thing that a software company pays attention to, the first currency of business, is the amount of usage of the platform. That's the currency of the business. It's if your platform is widely used, you will have stable users. Now, monetizing that, different problem to solve, right?
Yeah.
But the first layer is the usage. As agency owners, we don't think of, oh, let's have them use every single one of my services, right? Naturally, you have your specialty services that you focus on. So when you introduce software, I think it's a great lesson that you guys figured out. It's like, okay, if lead generation stops, the pipeline stops, they don't have a need for the software. But if they're using it for multiple things, they don't have a need to cancel the software, right? Now, so you started off at $500 a month for your lead generation services. Then you added on, is it optional software?
What we would do, we would say, hey, this is a software we ask all of our clients to sign up with. And if we ever got pushback, then we just say, hey, if you're not going to use it, we might not be a good fit. And then they're like, oh, no, we want to work with you. Yeah, we'll sign up with it. And so
it was like
it's optional, but
it's voluntold.
Yeah. And one of the things is like, if you go to churchfunnels.com, it's $200 a month. But when you sign up with us at the agency, we give you an affiliate link where it's only $100 a month.
Affiliate link for your own self, essentially.
Yes. Gotcha. So it's not an affiliate link. It's essentially a special sign up
direct link.
It's a special direct link for them to sign up and get onboarded. And so part of our onboarding as an agency is, okay, let's get access to your meta info, your page and ads manager and all that. All right, now we need to set you up with ChurchFunnels. I'm going to send you a link in the Zoom chat. Go through and sign up. Make sure you use this link because it's only $100 a month. And so that's another thing too. Like a sales objection is like, oh, I already have, another software
Systems,
that does this.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. It's normally the software, it is $200, but when you sign up with us, it's only $100. And this is just something that makes it easier for our team to help you guys make sure you're following up with your leads and stuff. So that's just part of our agency sales process.
Gotcha. And then what does the onboarding component look like? Do you have a separate team that just handles the lead generation, or is it all one?
So it's all through our agency team, onboarding. And then, so this is like the flow is there's the sales process. Once they sign up, then they schedule an onboarding call with our team where we're getting access to Meta, walk them through setting up their account with Church Funnels and making sure our team has everything we need to build our ad campaigns. Then we have what's called a kickoff call, which is basically onboarding part 2. That's with their dedicated account manager. And in that call, we walk them through the ads that we built, go over any revisions that need to be made, and then we go over Church Funnels, making sure they know how to use the dashboard, make sure they have logins for other team, show them the daily use cases like that.
Let's talk through the sales timeline before we go into the numbers and like how you guys have done in the last couple of years. So how long do you feel like is your sales cycle? Like what is from first interaction with the prospective client to onboarding the sauce?
Yeah, I feel like we have a longer sales process than some other agencies for a couple of reasons. Number one, a lot of these churches, they could schedule a discovery call with our team and they're like, hey, this is great. I want to sign up. We have the budget for it, but I have to get approval from the board, right? And some coaches are like, well, don't even take a call if it's not with the decision maker. It's like, bro, you want me to have like 8 people that have full-time jobs and businesses that are on the elder board of this church to sit through, to find a time for a meeting? Like, so what we do is we just take the call. It's like, great, we'll send you all the info and get back with us. And then just my team, they're just really good at
following up.
Yeah, following up. And then we always end a meeting with a meeting, right? I say you want to end a sales meeting with 2 C's, either a calendar or credit card, right? So like either another meeting on the calendar or with a credit card because they're signing up, right? So that's our sales process. And sometimes it can take, I would say 1 to 2 weeks, honestly, because the nature of our
to execute the decision.
To get them to get them on board. Now, once we get the thumbs up and credit card goes through, we could have. Now this has changed recently because of A2P. Sometimes that'll be the bottleneck of just getting the phone numbers approved because we don't want to start ads if we don't have a good follow-up system in place.
Right.
So a lot of the times it's just in the A2P guide's hands and it's like, all right, hopefully this goes through quickly. That was a joke, by the way. That might be taken heretical in my niche. Obviously, there's no A2P guides. It was a joke. I feel like I needed to say that.
Well, I think that resets the marketing world in a good way. Like there are people that are doing this the right way.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I get it's needed, legal, whatever. It's a little bit of a headache, and sure, we'll go through the process and we make sure we do everything above reproach. And
so almost like a 1-year cycle, and then they get in front of the decision makers. There's elders involved, there's boards involved, and they finally say yes. And once they say yes, it's like maybe a 2-week out period before you actually go live, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, and for us, we found like I can turn ads on today and the church is already getting new guests on Sunday. Like it's a really quick turnaround time. Like we've gotten really good at client results.
Right.
But yeah, it might be a 7 to 14 day turnaround time from contact to close for most people, just for them to present things to their board. We're working on building a board, like elders board or trustee board resources. So essentially a VSL or like case studies that are very analytical. And it's like, hey, on average, churches are getting this many new guests from our program. This is how it works. Like a go sell your decision maker type. So
it just squeezes the sales cycle and it gives us more trust. So let's talk about the numbers.
Yeah.
In 2022, you said you were starting off with like 8 clients or something.
Yeah, in January 22, really early on.
Yeah, so let's go through 2022. What did you end up in 2022?
Oh gosh, man.
And I assume you're by yourself, solopreneur at this point.
So I would bring on some in-person VAs. We just started outsourcing overseas like recently. So I hired, basically what I would do is I would hire someone and I would pay them as like $100 a month per client to manage. And so if they managed 30 clients, they'd make $3,000. And then we adjusted the pay as it went on. And we got away from that model just because it didn't work at scale. But that's what I did. And so that allowed me to find this girl. Her name was Lexi, stay-at-home mom, or she wasn't even a mom yet. So I think she worked as like a hairdresser or something and didn't want to be on her feet all day. Had a passion for churches. So she started working with me part-time.
And you're training her as she
and I'm training her
from
like
the ground up.
Yeah, I would just hop on Zoom with her, show her how to run ads, how to build things in HighLevel and things like that.
What I would love to do is understand, okay, what did 22 look like? What did 23 look like? What did 24 look like? And what does 25 look like? And
Yeah.
reason why I want to go through that is because this is kind of a case study experience, right? This is where we can get a little analytical, and I think our audience would be appreciative of it. Now, at this point in 22, you're doing fulfillment and sales and building the brand. Everything.
Doing everything. And that's the thing is like, when you're first getting started, it's really easy to become the bottleneck in your agency. And so, you know, I would have a goal. Like I had a goal at the end of 2023. Like we wanted to have 200 active clients. And so I did the math and I was like, okay, if I want 200 clients by the end of 2023, that means November I have to have like 180 clients. And then by the end of October, I need to have like 160 clients. And then I would just like do the math working backwards, like what's the benchmark for every month? Well, the problem came where it was like, dang, I realized I would have to be taking like 5 sales calls a day, Monday through Friday. I would have to have like a 30% close rate. And I would be doing all that myself. Well, then I didn't have any time to like work with the fulfillment team or like, I don't know, take my son to school. Like, and I realized I was the bottleneck to reach our goals. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to hire a sales guy. And so I brought on Thomas, our very first salesperson, whenever I realized like, okay, I cannot do this on my own. Right. And that was one of the things that really freed me up to scale the agency.
Yeah. And at this point, early stages, how did you get your first 8 clients? Like what was I assume you didn't run ads at that point.
No,
right?
The first 8 clients were referrals. And so what was cool is the church I was serving at, my pastor, he did some coaching for the network they were a part of. And he would basically just connect me with other pastors. And so like if you're just starting out, you don't have any clients, like find someone that has some level of influence. Like my pastor wasn't a mega church pastor. He's not a celebrity pastor. I didn't go, I'm in Houston. I didn't go after Joel Osteen to get him to run ads for Lakewood. Right. But he knows people. He was one of the coaches in this coaching group for churches. And so because of that, it was easy to use the church as a case study and for him to give me some referrals whenever we were just starting to scale and take on new clients.
The first step that I'm getting from you is build a case study or some sort of results that would resonate with the crowd that you're serving. So you worked with the first church, build out the results, then you partnered up with like someone with a little bit of an influence and expanded, shaking hands, calling people, showing up to places, and being present, right? And then that leads you to your first 8 clients, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, and what was cool is my pastor would like straight up put me in group messages with these other people. And so find someone that can have some level of influence, get really involved in like I was really involved in a Facebook group. And so that's actually one of the ways I got my first few clients is people would be asking questions about Facebook ads. I'd give a ton of value. And then I ended up posting one day. I got permission from the guy that ran the group and he said it was fine. I was like, hey, I have a lot of you guys asking about Facebook ads. Our church has doubled in the last year. The number one way where people are finding our church is from Facebook ads. Comment below if you want. I'm doing a webinar next week and I'll send you an invite. And this was great for a couple of reasons. Number one is if I just posted a link to the webinar, it wouldn't have gotten as much traction. But because I said comment below, I messaged every single, this is before ManyChat, before HighLevel had the feature where you can like, comment and then I'll DM you or whatever.
They call it the comment ladders.
Yeah, right.
Yep, yeah.
So because all these people were like, oh, I want in. So I had like 100 people from this Facebook group like interested in building, like coming to the webinar. And so I remember like sitting on the couch with my wife watching Netflix, just being on my phone, like DMing all these people, letting them know like, hey, like here's the info for the webinar, like like enter this info. So that's how I built my email list. So I guess really that's how I got my first 8 clients was from the webinar, because that's what I sold the course on. And man, I did the whole like Russell Brunson, like stack.
The value
the value and I just felt so icky. I felt so like
salesy.
I didn't like it. It didn't resonate with me. It worked. I think I had like maybe 6 or 7 people buy the course. That was like $500 each. I made like $3,000 from that webinar, and just like first $3,000 to make. I was like, heck yeah, brother! Like let's go. Like I was on top of the world, but the problem was it's just, I don't know. It wasn't my vibe. Like it felt salesy.
Yeah, you didn't feel comfortable. What's funny is, there's ultimately 3 different business models, right? The do-it-yourself, the done with you, and the done for you. So your first offer was a do-it-yourself model course that forced these people to self-navigate and manage their own marketing, and that didn't work, right? So those of you that are watching, imperfection created new clues, right? It gave you new insights of the industry, and then you pivoted, then you navigated. You're like, you know what? They need the done for you model, or maybe they need the done with you model, right? So by the end of 2022, Brady, did you end up doing more of these webinars? Like, what was your rhythm for sales?
I started doing webinars. I started doing these things where I'm trying to get in front of people. I'm active in the Facebook group.
So one to many.
And the thing is I'm getting results. I'm getting good results. And that's when I start the process of getting good client results, documenting that, and then leverage that in my marketing, right? Because once I have a pastor email me and say, oh my gosh, like we just had our biggest Sunday ever, I'm like, hey, can we hop on Zoom? And I can get you to say that on video, right? So I can now leverage that to get a new client. So, all right, I've got my numbers from 2022.
Yeah. And by the way, for those of you that are watching this, just from like a revenue disclaimer standpoint, we're not implying that you're going to go make a bunch of money. Our goal is to just share experiences that Brady and his agency has gone through, and you should be seen as inspirational, if anything. So totally, like, don't assume you're going to go make a bunch of money.
You probably won't make a lot of money. I don't know how I did it, dude. This is just by the grace of God as how I'm here today.
So what did 2022 look like at the end of it all?
Yeah. So 2022, we ended up making $260,000 in revenue, which
is incredible for a first year.
Yeah, first year in business. I guess technically 2021 was our first year, but I made
as a freelancer.
Yeah, as a freelancer, I maybe made $5,000 to $10,000. And like, what's funny is I was trying to see if ChurchCandy would qualify for like the Inc. 5000 fastest growing businesses, but we didn't make enough money in 2021 to qualify this year. That's how little money we made in 2021. So I don't even know if we want to count that, because the business officially started in 2022, made about $260,000. Then before we go into 2023, let's talk about what you're like. Where is your mind at in December 22, if you can recall? Like, what are you thinking? Are you thinking, okay, I've got to pay taxes, obviously. I've got to maybe build up a team that's bigger. I need to build up a higher, sales team. Do I, go do a bunch of speaking events? Like, where's your mind at in scaling? Like, what are your thoughts at this point? Yeah, man. December 2022, we did our first Christmas party, and it was me and my wife. My wife wasn't really working much in the business.
You guys got married real early.
Oh, dude. So that's like super common in like Christian culture, especially if you're going to like a Bible college.
Gotcha.
They say ring by spring. Like I was 18, my first year of Bible college, proposed to my wife in March of that year. So literally ring by spring. And then we were married the next December. So yes, married very young. I don't know what we were doing. We had no business getting married that young, but God, it worked out. I really do believe that was from the Lord. And
I got a chance to meet your wife last week at the Astros game that you had invited. So I got a chance to meet your team. I mean, they're amazing people, you know? So 22, what are you thinking in scaling? Like where do you invest?
It's me, Lexi, Corey, and Lydia, and their spouses sitting at a Brazilian steakhouse here in the Woodlands. And I remember casting vision. Like I probably have my notes still on my laptop from that, saying all the things we're gonna do. Right? Like I feel like I'm very pastoral in my role. I'm just like casting vision. Like this is where God's gonna take it. This is where we're at, but this is where we're going. I remember sitting like now we like rent out whole party rooms and stuff for our Christmas parties. That was just like, I want an open table and made a reservation for like the 6 of us or whatever at this restaurant. But I remember sitting
Humble
there.
Beginnings.
Yeah, I remember sitting there like going over notes on my phone. Like here were our numbers for the year. Like this is where we want to go next year. But man, I just remember sitting in gratitude. Like, man, like God, you've been so good getting us to where we are now. Like I can't imagine where this is going to go. And, yeah, it was just very grateful. I think we ended the year maybe around 50 clients. So we went from 8 to 50 clients in 1 year. And which now, like, it's not uncommon for us to have 50 new clients in a month. But yeah, that was 2022.
So where is your mind on doubling down? Are you thinking, okay, the money I made in 2022, do I put it all into sales? Do I put it all into fulfillment? Or do I, build up my team in a different way? Like what are you thinking? What's your planning? Like,
everything is reinvested back into marketing and sales and growing the business. Right. Like I'm not.
Was there a certain order? Is there like a lever you feel like you push chronologically? Like
I feel like,
or you just did everything at once?
I feel like I pulled down the marketing lever and then never stopped. And even now I'm like, okay, I need to hedge my bets a little bit. Let me like invest in some real estate, get some index funds and lean off the marketing lever. But yeah, we just went all into marketing and all into scaling after that.
Got it. So help me understand how the team changed in 23. Did you have more team members or was it the 6? So help us understand the restructuring.
In 2023, we ended the year, we went from 50 to 200 clients. So what is that, 3X? Or
4X.
4X. So running that model, it was basically each of our team members, they all have the same role. They were micro agency owners running ads and talking to clients. They did the fulfillment. I had to teach them how to do media buying, and I had to teach them to communicate with clients. And what that meant is I didn't teach them anything about communicating with clients. I was just assuming they would know how to do that. And then I would teach them how to run Facebook ads and how to set up HighLevel workflows and things like that.
And that's kind of the way your dad ran it, right? From what I remember what you said. Okay, so what didn't work about that model?
So what didn't work is we were scaling so quickly. Like, I think we were from 50 to 200 clients in 1 year. And so we got to, once we started to get like 20 or 30 new clients in a month, well, one account manager could handle 20 to 30, maybe 40 clients. So it's like I would hire someone, give them 2 weeks of training, and then throw them into the deep end and be like, here's 30 clients, go fulfill and talk to them. And what would happen is they would make one little mistake. And me and my other team members are like, oh, it's actually not that big of a deal. Easy fix, happens all the time. The client would be upset, but we would know it's like, oh, it's an easy fix. Don't worry about it. We'll give you a discount here next month. But a new hire that's only been there for 2 weeks, they're thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm about to get fired. This is my new job. I've only been working here for 2 weeks. I don't know what I'm doing. The client's upset. I made this mistake.
it's a whole church that's against me.
Yeah, no. And so that was a big issue was what we found with the team as we began to scale is like 2023 we grew really, really quickly. 2024 we grew, but not as dramatically.
It's controlled growth.
Yes, like we intentionally went several months without spending any money on ads.
Yeah.
We moved some of our sales team members to fulfillment just so we could like get them to work, and we had to restructure a lot.
So let's break down 2023 a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So 50 to 200.
Yes.
What was the marketing lever that you pulled? Like, what was the impact that you feel like changed? Like, I assume you launched paid ads at this point.
So that's when we went in on paid ads and a sales team. It started with Thomas. And man, it is such a feeling as an agency owner whenever
someone else is doing the sales.
Yes, when you start getting a new clients and it's people you've never talked to. And that was crazy because once we got Thomas in there and his calendar got full from running ads, I brought on a guy, Chris, and I started filling up Chris's calendar. Right. And so now I had two sales guys with 75 to 100% capacity as far as their calendar being filled with prospects.
Yeah.
And the app, like we didn't run like Joel Kaplan's great, but and like even Hermosi, like the offers, the guarantees and which it's not common in the church space, but I'll see like, get 30 new patients in 30 days or you don't pay or whatever those offers are. We didn't do anything like that. Our offer was, hey, we help churches use Facebook and Instagram ads to get new guests. Here's client results. Click below to schedule a discovery call.
Wow.
And that was it. Like that was the offer to fill our calendar. And that is the same offer that we run today.
Wow.
And it's not like because it's I want to be careful. I don't want to say it's a blue ocean. It's like, oh, it's not saturated at all. And now all these other high-levelers think, I'm going to go after churches. It is very hard to crack into because you have to get board approval and they're so well connected, these churches. And so it was an uphill battle, but it was one of the things I was able to break into.
Right. Well, you also had ministry experience, mm-hmm. right? So you were essentially a person within the industry that built an agency in my mind, right? Question on the sales component. One of the things that I've always noticed with agency owners is they have a really hard time giving up that sales hat because they represent their agency a certain way. They have a certain style in how they close deals. They know objections really well. As you grow as an agency owner, you develop sales skills naturally.
Yeah.
And typically you can close your offers better than anybody else, right? But when I invested into tons of coaching over the years, one thing I learned is that you still give up that hat to someone who may not be the strongest closer, but when you have two or three of them, it offsets the bandwidth.
Yeah.
Right? Help us understand how you coached up your sales team. Like, what role did you have in developing the sales team?
Man, I think I did not do a great job at this. And you're talking about, a lot of agency owners, they're hesitant to give up the sales role and all of this. Not me, man. I was like, you can go talk to these pastors and get them to sign up. Awesome. I'm not going to do that anymore because I have such a heart for these pastors. I'd be like, hey, here's our prices, but man, I love what you guys are doing. I'll give you a discount. Like I would give. And now there's going to be pastors that listen to this like, oh, how can I talk to Brady directly? Because he's going to give me a discount. But no, like I've got just like a soft heart for these churches and pastors. And so I would like, and it's hard for me now, like if I ever have a sales conversation to just be strict with our prices because they're like, man, no, like, here you go. And so just being strict with my sales team on like, hey, no, here's our prices. You guys need to like, don't give those discounts. Like just get like, these are our prices. But yeah, I don't know that I did a great job at like training my sales team or anything. Like I just tried to hire people that were familiar with our niche. So like everyone on our sales team, have some level of ministry experience. And then hopefully if they have some level of sales experience too. Just let them lead, I would let them sit in on calls with me, and I would let them lead the calls and while I listened in. And then once they started closing, I was like, cool.
Yeah.
You don't need me anymore. And then I would bounce.
I love that. 2024, you said it was more of a controlled growth.
Oh yeah.
Versus 2023 seemed more of a chaotic growth, right? Break down 2024 for us and what you guys experienced.
Yeah. So 2024 is whenever we started having a lot of employees leave. Because of the growth in 2023, that last quarter of 2023, we made a bunch of hires and not everyone stayed. Right. So we were having churn, not in our clients, but in our employees. That's when we knew something was wrong. And we realized the whole, like, okay, I'm going to pay you based on how many accounts you manage and all of that. We got to a breaking point and realized that wasn't scalable past that point. We kind of hit a ceiling. So we stopped everything, stopped running ads. We only took referrals. And so I had to move that, brought sales volume down, brought lead volume down. So 2023, we did 50 to 200 clients.
Right.
Okay. And so 2024, I think we went from 200 to maybe 350.
Okay.
And now so far in 2025, we're right around 450 clients.
Gotcha.
Where we're at today.
In 23, you went from 50 to 200 clients. Let's break down 2024. And I think you had mentioned you were around like 350 clients by the end of 2024. Is that right?
Yeah. So we finished 2023 with about 1 million in revenue. I think we did $1,050,000 in revenue. And that was ending the year with like 200 clients. I think we might have finished around 250 because I think the goal was 200 and then we broke the goal and got closer to 250. Then in 2023, or that was 2023, finished around 250 clients. 2024, we went from 250 to like 350. And the problem is we had just grown so quickly. We did 2.5 million in revenue, which is great. But whenever you scale that quickly, you lose team members. I mean, it was people.
It's a lot of pressure on all areas.
Yeah, and so we just had to, like, 2024 was a rebuilding year for us. We implemented EOS, the Entrepreneur's Operation System, the book Traction, Gino Wickman. Shout out to Lynn Askin, our EOS implementer. We just wrapped up yesterday our quarterly. So that was one of the things. Started focusing on our leadership team, restructuring how we did our fulfillment to where now we have a team of just dedicated account managers and then a team of dedicated media buyers. So that's not the same role anymore. We separated them. Started giving people real salaries instead of it being based on how many accounts they managed. And so we had to really just restructure how we did everything.
And why is that important, Brady? Like, why you go through these pivots, right, in business to get ready for something. Sometimes it's something bigger. Maybe something like being able to handle high volume. Maybe it's the type of leaders that you bring on. Like, what was your vision in 2024 in wanting to restructure?
Yeah. The thing is, like, we have big vision. Our mission for our company is we want to connect 1 million people to the local church. And the problem is I can't do that if I'm losing team members every month. And I can't do that if we can't bring on a high volume. Because the thing is, once you get to 400 clients, well, if you're churning 10% of your clients, I got to bring on 40 new clients a month
to just be even.
Just to be even. So it's one of those things is we had to be ready to actually serve our clients well, where we weren't having 10% churn, and serve them well so our client results would speak to themselves, so we would have good case studies, so we could get a lot of sales. And so everything serves each other in the business, right? And yeah, man, we knew if we wanted to scale, like what got us to where we were wasn't going to get us to where we wanted to go.
I love that. And this is classic, by the way. I speak to agency owners in the thousands every single year. And what you're describing is so classic. So get us to 2025.
Yeah, man.
We are here now. What did this year look like so far? And it seems like a whole new energy in your team also. I got a chance to meet a ton of them, not too long ago.
Yeah, man. The team's great. And, back in March of this year. So when you work with churches, it is very common for the month before Easter to be very, very busy, right? And so for us, we already knew in March of this year, we were going to be really busy. And so I did this challenge with my team.
The 100 client challenge.
I said,
tell us about that.
Yeah, so we called it March Madness. And I told the team, like, look, March is always one of our busiest months because like churches want to get on before Easter. So let's do a March Madness challenge. And there were different like tiers. It was like, so for context, we had never had more than 60 clients sign up in a month. And bro, when 60 clients signed up, that was like, oh my gosh, great job, guys. Like bonuses for all the sales staff. Like you guys crushed it. So I was like, all right, if you guys get 50 clients to sign up at our staff retreat this summer, we'll rent a professional karaoke machine and do karaoke together as a team. If you guys get 75 clients to sign up, we'll bring in hibachi chefs and we'll do, instead of just like Chick-fil-A or boxed Jason deli sandwiches for lunch, we will cater hibachi chefs, like cook in front of you, throw the shrimp in your mouth, the whole 9 yards.
And it's not about the food. It's not about the reward. It's the spirit of bringing the team together for a common goal, right?
Yeah. And so that was if we get 75 clients. And then if we get 100 clients, I told the team, we will bring a tattoo artist to the staff retreat and I will let you guys tattoo whatever you want on my body. I'll be blindfolded.
You're kidding.
And Paulson, I want to let you know, they got 108 clients. And this is the tattoo that they went with. So it's Jesus defeated death. So just like the old Muhammad Ali photo, Jesus is a boxer and he defeated death. But I want to make sure the camera's got a good angle on that. But yeah, man. So they did it.
And I was told you were blindfolded.
I was blindfolded. So I'll make sure your team has pictures to show if you're watching the video version of this podcast. But yeah, man. So that was intimidating. And I got another one on my leg that my wife knew I wanted. And I was thinking that it was just going to be that one. And so I was like, okay, not a big deal. It just says mission over method. It's one of our core values of the company. And then right before I got the tattoo, she was like, hey, you're getting 2 tattoos, one on your arm and one on your leg. I was like, what? 2? I didn't agree to 2. They signed up 100 clients, not 200 clients. And yeah, so we did a couple of things to kind of make this happen. Number one is we never offered any kind of affiliate offer to clients if they referred people, other than, hey, if you have 3 active referrals working with us, we'll waive your monthly fee. So it's a 3 for free program is what we would run as the agency. But that's not very beneficial to the pastor because the thing is they're not small business owners, right? A chiropractor is paying out of their profits in marketing. Compared to a pastor, his salary is the same whether ChurchCandy is performing well or not, right? And so the free is great. It frees up some money on our budget, but like there's not a personal incentive for him there. So I think it was like, hey, any referral you send in March, we'll pay $100. And so it wasn't anything crazy. But another thing was we discounted, like normally I think it's like $1,250 or $1,350 for the first month, like $1,350. But we waived that extra fee.
Wait, when did you change the pricing from the $650?
So it was
$500. $600.
It was just like an onboarding fee for the first month. And really what it was is to cover sales commission, to cover the onboarding team, because we would have to pay their.
And when was that implemented?
So that was implemented, back in 2022. Okay. So that's part of that revenue.
Oh,
right?
Gotcha. Okay.
But we waived that in March. It was like anyone signs up in March, you get the discount, and any referral you sent in that month, pay $100. And we did for the account managers, like they got, I don't remember exactly what it was, but any client, if any of their clients send in referrals, they got some kickback, or maybe it was like whoever sends in the most referrals that month got some kind of bonus. So it was an incentive for everyone. The account managers needed to get their clients to send in referrals. Our clients, they got kickback. And then I posted on my social medias that we were doing this. And I would have pastors saying like, oh, we were looking at signing up this year, but I'm going to sign up in March so we can see you get that tattoo. And then we might have had some clients like pastors that churches don't believe in tattoos that were like, I'm going to cancel services because Brady said he's going to get a tattoo. But yeah, man, it was funny. Going up into the month, I think it was like the 25th or 24th of the month, and we had signed up already like 50 or 60 clients. So there was like a week left. We weren't quite at the goal. I was like, dang. And I was like, what are we going to do to get us over the finish line? And I was like, I can't believe we've gotten this far just by a couple of emails. And then that offer just on our existing lead volume. I think we might have put in our ads, like save $500 on your first month of Facebook ads or something. But I didn't send out any texts to our list. I didn't do any kind of database reactivation campaign internally via text. So what I did is I took our list of anyone that had scheduled a sales call but not signed up within the last year, and did a Rob Bailey style database reactivation campaign that was like, hey, Paulson, this is Brady from ChurchCandy. I've got a couple of $500 off discounts if your church is wanting to get started. I set one aside for you. I should have batched those, but I was like, no, I'm just going to send them all because like we need this out ASAP. Oh my gosh. We had such a huge response from that.
Wow.
Because the thing is, we had been doing so many sales and so much to where my team could only follow up with so many people. So yeah, I told them, yeah, follow up with your old leads, let them know about it. But I mean, they're taking 5 to 6 calls a day, 1 month. Like you can do the math. That's a very high volume.
That's hundreds of phone calls to just even curate 5-6 appointments a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so with that, with our sales, we don't do any cold outbound. They're not doing.
But what about the follow-up side?
So the follow-up, it's a lot of texts and emails.
Gotcha.
They'll do some calls. Hopefully they are. But I bought iPhones for all of my sales team, so they're not having to use their personal phone numbers. They all have work phones that they use, so get some blue texts and things in there. So they're making some phone calls, but their calendar, that 4 to 6 calls a day that they're having that are booked, that's from our
automated
inbound
systems.
That's from our inbound. That's from some email marketing. So
Gotcha.
they're not cold calling. We've never done any cold outbound. We've never done any cold.
So they're
DMs.
closing deals. They're not prospecting heavy like the old traditional ways.
Yeah, no. Gotcha, so these are traditional,
which is even better.
Yeah, no, it's great. So send out the text, and that is what like moved the needle the most. Like after that is when we started having the huge influx of clients coming in.
Yeah. So that you gamified the performance within the team and everybody hit the goal essentially. Now, what effect did that have on the team? Like what now is it like, okay, when's the next goal? Like what's next? You know, like what are you thinking now in 2025 rest of the way?
Yeah, man. So we're looking at doing something like that going in September. Churches always love to do like a back to school, like the fall type thing. So we're going to try to do something similar. And the team loved it. We're going to have to come up with a prize that's not a tattoo on me. And so just coming up with a different incentive structure, probably something that's going to reward a lot more of the team rather than, okay, cool. Like, for example, the hibachi. In theory, hibachi was great. The team actually didn't really like it because we have so many team members and their spouses. We had to do it outside in July in Texas heat. So they're eating like hot shrimp and rice and chicken in the direct sunlight.
Oh my gosh.
So like on our feedback forums after the retreat, that was like the number one thing people didn't like. They were like, the food was great. Eating outside in the direct sun at noon in Texas was not great. And so I get it. So just getting creative and coming up with like incentives for the team that's going to be for everyone. Right?
That makes sense. I love that, Brady. So as we kind of close out the segment, looking back at the last couple of years, the team that you built, the business that you have, can you go back to the Brady of 2021 and talk to that Brady and tell him what you would do differently? What would you change about your path? Or maybe you don't change anything at all. Where would you double down in what worked? Like, give us the key lessons and takeaways you've had.
Yeah, man, it's such a good question. Couple of things. Number one is set impact goals, not just revenue goals. So before, in the early days in 2022 and even a lot of 2023, our big goal as a company is we want to work with 1,000 churches. We want to get to 1,000 active clients, which is a cool goal. It's fun. But really, like, when my team thinks about that, it's like, cool, that's a lot of work. There's going to be a lot of churches we're working with, and we're going to have a really big team. And sure, I guess in theory, we would make a big impact. But when we pivoted our goal to we want to connect 1 million people to a local church, that got way more team buy-in. And like earlier, I kind of joked at like how I sometimes feel like a pastor trying to cast a vision for my team, but because all of our team, like these are all people that have like a lot of experience working in churches. So they're bought into that vision of we want to see 1 million people connected to a local church. And it's really easy for me in my niche to come up with that. It's a little bit harder for like a Cairo agency to try to come up with an impact goal. But for me, that's one thing that's worked really, really well. And then the next thing on scaling is just stay focused on getting clients the best results possible. Document those results in the form of a testimonial video or a podcast, then leverage that in your marketing and repeat to get a new client. And doing that is one of the ways we've scaled so quickly because we just focus on that. Just focus on get clients the best results possible, document, and then leverage that in our marketing, then repeat.
I love that. Now, when it comes to your team, what are some lessons you've learned in people management, leadership, like close us out in what you would double down on with your team?
Yeah. A lot of entrepreneurs will hire their friends in the early days. And that's something that I've done. And when you hire your friends, you're going to have really high highs, like the staff retreat and some of these things that we've done. It's really fun. It's really cool. But then you're also going to have hard conversations and you're going to have really low lows. And I've had to let go people that were some good personal friends of mine that just weren't a good fit for whatever the reason is. And it's hard. It's really hard to do. And so with that is, people will say like, oh, we need to do like we put our team first. Our team comes first. Or some people say our clients come first. Our clients come first. No, really what it is the company comes first, right? What decision is going to make, not just for our team, not just for our clients, but overall for the company, what is going to be the best decision to move forward in our goal? And that can lead to having to make hard decisions with people.
Absolutely. And Brady, we're so ecstatic for you at HighLevel. You are one of the shining stars that we have in the community. So we want to just say thank you that you did this case study with us. You've opened up your books, you opened up your stories and shared those with us. I know the community is going to appreciate it. I know that a lot of the folks that are watching, they're going to get a ton of resources from your business as well. And we hope to, repay you back in one way or another in just impact or however we possibly can. But just want to say thank you.
Amazing, Paulson. Appreciate you.
Bye for now.